Good evening. Donald Lynch Paterson.
Good evening.
Where do we start? About this no confidence? The statement, he can verify it or not, that he made about the 3 black councilmen, you don't even have to go no further. Vote, no confidence. Please. I know we don't get along, but that's another story. Like I always told it. Feel the same way about me, I feel about him. Simple as that.
Ernest Rucker Paterson. I was going to allow the process to be the process. But in the vestibule, a supporter of Council President Julio Tavares made me understand that that cannot happen. This is not a vote of no confidence because you are voting against a colleague. This is a vote because you're talking about the sanctity of this council. Julio Tavares has a long history of disrespect for this council and for this public. It's going to be very interesting to see how people attempt to, on this council, get around this issue of his poor leadership. It's going to be very interesting to see how certain individuals will try to worm their way out of doing the right thing. This has nothing to do with ethnicity on ethnic lines. This has something to do with a president that's been off the hook for too long. Too long. When the public has been pushing as hard as they've been pushing for you to do the right thing. Now, if you don't want to do the right thing because it's the right thing, think politics. Think about your political futures. Because some of you don't understand the right thing. You want to play games, and we're tired of it. You can take the administration apart in a minute. But when it comes down to taking care of a problem at your own council, it seems that you find a way to escape it. Well, we're watching. This is the most important vote of your political careers. This will define you tonight. You will not be able to campaign in the future without this vote coming up. Because it's right, it's fair. If you do something wrong, there are consequences. Even in today's paper, an article concerning radio stations where the alleged statements were made, they are distancing themselves from Julio Tavares. Latin leaders in the audience right now that come in support, and I expect no different. And I respect their support. But I'm looking at 8 individuals who have a sworn duty, a due diligence, to preserve the sanctity and the honor of this council. State, can you, in closing, can you police your own body?
Without mentioning as well the subject of the hour. I would have hoped that we would have gotten the transcript for what was said or alleged to have been said by a council president, either pro or con. Somebody should have been able to provide a transcript so this conversation could have been centered around the facts as we know them. Not doubting anything that someone said or how they perceived it, but I would have liked to have seen the transcript. I'm a guy that likes paperwork. I guess you know that by now.
Mr. Gilmore.
I want to see, yeah, in closing.
Thank you.
I would have liked to have seen the documentation. Having said that, I have to believe and take the side of people being more careful in terms of what they say in the positions they hold and the accountability that comes with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good evening. Buenas noches. My name is Rina Tavares Baez, and I'm here because first thing, I have a concern. What transpired about during the selection for the city clerk? Things were said, and the council president said some things, and some of his political friends started saying that my brother was making racist comments. First of all, you don't have the proof since you don't speak Spanish and you were not listening to the radio station, which are you saying that was my brother was making racist comments? Which is, everybody knows he's my brother, so I don't have to lie about that one. The census purpose was to create services and programs for the community. I come here and speak Spanish, nobody will understand me, and you don't even have a translator. So, si yo hablo español, ¿quién me va a traducir? Do we have a translator here to translate for me? Are you a professional translator? So we have to pay for one. So my city council president purpose when he was speaking about the city clerk was to make sure that the community that has 60% was represented in the city of Paterson. So for that, some of you will call him a racist because he was just talking about numbers, not color of ethnicity. He was just talking about what the census say. 60% of the population, or more than 60% in the city of Paterson, speaks Spanish. You should provide the services for those people. So when they come here, they have somebody that can understand them. I don't need you to translate for me. You know why? Because I pay taxes. I worked in the city of Paterson for many years. So it's not for me to come here and wait for somebody to translate for me. It's just not going to happen. So you should have a service for the people, for more than 60% of the people who actually vote. I'm just saying, because you say that you're going to come here and you're going to tell these people that the council president says something, and that's why these people over here who represent 60% of the population in Paterson should vote against the council president Tavares today. So I think you should think about that, because I'm going to be here to make sure that when that's happening, when it's time for you to run, then I'll come here and we'll tell 60% of the population of that vote. We vote. We actually vote. No, actually do. Just saying. We do. Okay? So those 60% of the population, I'm going to come, more than 60% actually, I will come here and tell them how to vote myself too. Thank you.
Next one.
Good evening, everyone. Jesus Castro, 6th Ward, Paterson, New Jersey. I'm here tonight because of the no confidence vote. I heard a lot of speakers, and unfortunately I haven't heard many folks from the actual community of the 5th Ward. I see a lot of political operatives, family members speaking on behalf of the council president, but not the actual folks, the people who the council president wants to affect. Yes, he might be a good councilman in your ward to you, but the decisions he makes affect the entire city. There's something that needs to be said about this Spanish speaking and this in the city clerk's office. That, in reality, is something that was proposed by Councilman Andresea for political favor, according to reports. And it's something that Councilman Tavares decided to carry on in the sense of diversity. We cannot continue to enable our Hispanic population to have Spanish-speaking people working at the city, or Spanish television and Spanish radio. They will never grow. They will never, continue and prosper in the community if they are not simulating speaking English and things like this. What happened here, obviously, was some political move that turned sour. The folks saw it for what it was. You were trying to install someone for a political favor. You cried diversity, which was not the case. You try to impose your people into the city council, to the city clerk's office, overlooking the people that have been there 20 years, and now you're saying, well, we really need someone in that office. You might, maybe so. But you cannot cram people into that office just because you feel that it's a political favor or because you need diversity. It can't happen. It has to happen organically within the office. And that's not what you're trying to do. I'm here because I asked for the no confidence, for you to vote for the no confidence vote. I don't dislike Councilman Julio Tavares. I think he's a fine person, but his decisions, his politics are wrong. They might be good for the Fifth Ward if his people subscribe to that. But he is a council president. He has to work with colleagues, and he represents the city. You know, everything these people do affects everyone, not just one ward. So we need to be careful because we're always, oh, well, I'm a Hispanic advocate myself. I'm Hispanic. I speak Spanish. And I don't see what he did was right. And that has nothing to do with politics. I feel that the community, the Hispanic community, needs to grow, not necessarily us enabling it. I know the folks won't agree, but, you know, look where it's coming from. In closing, you know, the folks that are here, you have to look at where they're coming from, family, folks, former elected officials, and people who are trying to protect an interest. Look at it that way. So it's really just hot air noise. We need to look at it closely, and you need to vote the right way. Thank you.